All right, guys, we're back for another. Oh, my bad. Okay, wait. No, we're here. My bad. Yeah. Data download. Data download hit. We are here for a data download. We have got. So this looks like the finale, the grand finale of the anniversary. No new characters. Now I will tell y'all, I will actually breathe a sigh of relief from this because it's just like, bro, they have been working your boys so crazy. No cards, no EZAs or nothing. Does seem, I mean, yeah, no, I was gonna say, could they do like some last minute final surprise? But I really do not anticipate more new characters before Saiyan Day. I don't want to say it's impossible, but I don't think we're gonna see any new characters, EZAs, nothing until the Saiyan Day characters is when we're gonna be getting them. I think that's who it's gonna be. Maybe a Bardock, a Super Saiyan Bardock, or a Bardock and Goku or something like that. You know, if they wanted to get really exciting, I thought that some of the more fun options, just for me personally, could be maybe God Vegeta or maybe Wrath Broly. I would love to see them. So this last data download here for the anniversary is just content. We love content. So let's see what we got right here. Not really a ton. We got some wallpapers and a ton of titles. All of the titles, I think, is pretty fun that they add in all these titles, because then, you know, a lot of people can just be walking around with different kinds of titles and stuff like that, right? So, all right, so we have two battle-hardened formidable foe fights, movie version 4 and movie version 5. I'm going to tell y'all, I think that this is probably going to be the hardest content in the game. Those Red Zone bosses, I mean, the Jirins, the Topo, the Blue Goku, the Blue Vegeta, like, they're tough, but they are missing a little bit of an oomph. They don't have, like, that extra, like, one more thing those bosses needed to be, like, truly terrifying. They don't have that. They're just, like, kind of like, definitely the toughest fights, but they just don't have that extra little bit. These bosses do have that stuff, but they are typically very squishy. So we'll see how this is going to go. So again, we have two new stages, movie 4 and movie 5. Oh, there's actually missions. Oh, because there's not missions previously. Holy shit. Okay, stage 9 with 6 fuse fighters. Stage 10 with full power. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. We are going to be able to rock a full 220% team for each. Where's Gohan? Gohan is the full power leader. So, remember, Beast is on full power. Beast is monstrous for this. So is Tech Broly. Okay, I mean, if these are the hardest fights, too, I like, if I'm looking at, like, tier list stuff like that, I would probably gear... Right now, I would probably say I'm mostly considering red zones, although I think it is silly to pretend like Beast and Tech Broly do not just, like, dominate these battle-hard and formidable foes fights, right? So this doesn't look too bad. Neither of these look too bad. These are good rosters. We have very good characters. You know, if we're using 6 fuse fighters, I mean, I guess we could rock Hercule. Yeah, he is technically a fuse fighter character, huh? Now, these fights look very nasty. Let's start looking at these. So, we start with Battle of Gods. Looks like... Oh, they're probably going to be hitting very hard. He gets 30% attack third turn. Damage every time he gets hit. If there's a Realm of Gods character, he gets even more damage. And he has a defensive debuff. So this Beerus is looking like he hits very hard to me. Okay. Then we have Frieza. Lowers our defense. And he gets stronger if there's a movie hero enemy. Okay. Yeah, he's lowering our stats. I've found that these bosses aren't really too scary that lower our stats in this fashion. Like bosses that have this type of passive. But, I mean, maybe this guy will be very scary. Alright, so Golden Frieza here. Gets a big attack buff when he's about to die. Loses damage reduction each turn. And then he also loses some attack. He's probably going to be designed similarly to the Red Zone Golden Frieza. I would not be shocked if this guy's coming out of the gate with like a 7 million super plus 7 million plus super. Would not shock me. Remember, these bosses are much scarier than the Red Zone fights, but they just don't have the HP typically to back them up the way the Red Zone fights do. But these bosses are like really scary. All right, so Broly, it just gets attack. He gets 200% defense for 7 turns. Good characters crit, doesn't matter. Does get this every turn. And he gets stronger if there's a fused fighter, and there's literally a mission to do that too, right? He's getting 50% attack right there. So then we get to this guy. I think that this is probably going to be the toughest boss in the game, this Broly right here. So he opens up, typically when we see multiple different supers like this, it's usually a thing of, it's like an HP threshold. So like Broly will start out using this AoE super, and then as we really lower his HP, he'll move on to doing this, which is far less scary. Even though it's going to hit harder, it's going to be far less scary because it's just one super. An AoE super right here at the end of this, this is going to be, dude, like my plan is I'm just Vekuing that shit. I would like to line up, hopefully, Veku, and then immediately just try and, like, Vegito active and do as much damage as possible. He is AGL, so Vegito will torch him, but he looks pretty scary to me, honestly, this Broly. I think that this guy is going to be the toughest one. He looks like he loses damage reduction after we hit him 10 times, and then he gets attack after every time we hit him. It only goes up to 26%. So how fucking hard is this kid going to be hitting? Right? Like, remember, like, Bojack gets up to, like, 240% or something like that. So, Broly seems scary, dude. He seems like a monster. Then we have the other one, which is, it's Gamma 2, Gamma 1, and then Cell Max. So, Gamma 1, it crits. Okay, that's always scary. Or, excuse me, Gamma 2, he crits. Then he's going to be getting attack every turn. Every time we hit him with a, what is that, a Ki Blast super, he gets damage reduction. 30% stats right there, okay. Then Gamma 1. Gamma 1 gets more damage every time we hit him. Those bosses are always pretty scary. He gets damage reduction at the start of every turn. No super attack effect, though, just that defense right there. This Gamma 1 is also getting that. And he gets more damage if hit by a melee super. That's a melee super. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense because he has the melee super counter, right? That Gamma 1 right there. And then he gets damage reduction every time he gets hit as well. And then he's got the attack buff right there. Okay. All right, so then we get the Cell Max. We know already how dominant this guy is going to be. He's just getting damage every turn. Okay, at the start. And then we get to Phase 2. So he starts out with this, and then again, I assume once he's close to death, he'll bust out the AoE, is what the way he works. To me, that sounds like Broly will be scarier because he'll open with the AoE. Okay, now this is just knowledge of how the previous Battle Hardened fights have been, but I could envision being able to sell out to just kill Cell Max before you even see this. But this is going to be much harder to avoid because he starts with it, right? Like, Veku or Fat Boo or something like that would get us past that. But this, you know, all types of powerful active skills, we could just load up on them to kill him, like, right before he's going to bust that out, is the thing, right? Okay, so he has that. He's getting attack every turn. Defense every time we hit him. Doesn't really matter too much. And then he loses defense every time he receives... I'm actually not sure what it means by that. Skill type attack? I'm actually not too sure what it means. Oh, is this saying an 8? Wait, no, is it mean a tech character every time a tech character hits him? And that might be what it is. Every time he gets hit by a tech character, I think he loses defense. Okay. But, like, again, defense doesn't really matter too much. Because good characters are critting. Right? Like, it's It's a very easy thing to say, but it's true. It's true. And then we have this. So we'll see. The Challenge Limits Festival of Battles. We got it right here. There are several missions. Here's Stone's wallpaper being up to the 25th. So once you get past the 25th, it's just giving us Link skill balls and presumably titles as well. So here it is. So this is a very long fight. Lot of enemies. This reminds me of like OG Boss Rush. I'm not really too sure what to think. This does not look like the hardest fight in the game to me. It doesn't. Now this is all the dual Dokkan Fest characters, Dokkan Fest LRs, right? So like, Janemba's not, so from that dual Dokkan Fest they pick Pikkon. From this dual Dokkan Fest they pick Vegito. Both the anniversary LRs. It's just looking at this. I don't know, man. It's so long. You know how hard they would have to be hitting? Like, once we get to, like, Beast and on, are they truly gonna be supering for, like, hundreds of million? The only way they're gonna get around the stacking characters, because what we would do is we just roll in with, whoops, we're freezing a little bit. We just roll in with these 6 right here. 7th anniversary LRs, 10th anniversary LRs, Namek Goku, and AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku. These 6 stackers just plowing through. What is in there to stop you from just like stacking with these characters and killing these bosses? I mean, they don't seem to have nasty abilities. They're just stats bosses, right? Like this Goku nullifies Ki Blast supers, right? But like, there's not really anything else in here. So I'm not really too sure, chat. I wasn't buying Ken telling us that this is the hardest fight in history, but I mean, I don't want to talk too much shit until we see it. I mean, if we're getting to this end here and they're all supering us for 20 million plus, I mean, that's certainly going to be difficult if they're all hitting for like 20 million. That's going to be tough. Right? But like it's going to need to be that. Like they're going to need to be hitting so ridiculously hard. I just don't really see how they're going to balance a fight like this. Like this is not like a 50 phase fight. I don't know. So we'll see. Personally, I'm thinking it's not going to be too tough, but I mean, we'll see what it's going to look like, right? So, all right, there's that. Okay, so we got that. Look at that. There's a bunch of titles here. So beat, looks like that's a Kid Buu, Final Form Cooler, Goku, and then Fat Buu. Okay, so they do look very similarly there. And then, oh, here's one, Champion of the Festival. Oh, that looks so sick. Everyone's going to want to have that one. And that's what you get for beating Super Vegito in the 50th battle. I don't know if it's actually going to be that tough, man. I'm not sure. Then this. So this is going to be for the battle-hardened formidable foes. Right, because we know that the other one that's very similar is the Kid Goku one from the same event. Okay. And then we get the wallpaper right here for the title screen. Okay, pretty cool. And then we got a bunch of assets of the various bosses we're going to be fighting. And then this is... What is this? This is for the next Daima story event stage, I think. That's what that is. Okay, so that's it. That's all we got. So, as you guys could see, the data download this week, it's basically just content. Content is what they're giving us. I have high expectations for the battle-hardened formidable foes fights. I think that Cell Max and Broly are going to be goddamn nasty. Now, about the, champion... The Challenge Limits Battle Festival, I'm not so sure. I don't know how nasty this is actually going to be. Hard to say. So we'll see what it's going to be like. Maybe it'll be a euphoric feeling beating Super Vegito. Maybe not. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys next time.